Hey there everybody, welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Last time we went through the 100 Acre Wood, completing it there, and I did not like 1 second of it. It was so slow, although the cutscene at the end of it was quite nice. Anyway, this time we are going to enter the darkness in order to fight Ansem once and for all. So let's head off immediately with the toughest gummy route in the game. So we are doing this gummy route again because I've already died, but most of the enemies here can two-shot you if you have a weaker ship and you haven't edited anything. But a lot of the strongest Heartless ships here can even one-shot you, and they'll do some damage to you even now, so you really want to be careful. And I'm actually gonna let go of the charge button now, because I want to live and not run into Heartless ships. Anyway, so just after a few of these walls, I'm coming up against the hardest Heartless gummy ships in the game. And these guys are no joke. These guys here, these guys are terrible. They really hurt. I don't want to run into them. Thankfully I have a bit of a shield, but I don't know if it'll last. You can see, and there's even tougher ones right at the end just to destroy you. But I made it through. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm pretty happy. And here we go. New high score! This is the end of the world. We are in some deep darkness here. And interesting thing about this world, unless they changed it in Final Mix, when we land, we're not introduced with a cutscene immediately. Now if I walk forward, we will get it, but first thing I'm going to do right now is save my game. This world, so Hollow Bastion was a big step up in difficulty. This world is even worse. They couldn't put any more stars on the map screen to show you how much more difficult this world is. And I'm going to struggle with it, even with a bit of level grinding I did earlier. Anyway, we're in a bit of a dead end here, unless we move forwards.
Is that all that's left of the worlds taken by the Heartless?
Those worlds will be restored if we beat Ansem, right?
You betcha!
But if we do beat him, and all these worlds become restored and disconnected, what's gonna happen to this place? And to us?
Well,
This is a Heartless world, so maybe it'll just disappear.
huh?
But no worries. Even if this place goes poof, our hearts ain't going nowhere. I'm sure we'll find our pals again. Yep, I just know that we will. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. I'll return this. I promise.
We will fulfill that promise, Sora. We will. This is the end of the world. And don't worry, you can't walk on this. As you can see, there's really not much to see. Until this comes along. So these orbs will spawn Heartless. This is a new Heartless, one of the toughest Heartless in the game. This is the Invisible. And I guess either I'm doing more damage than I thought, or I'm just simply actually level grinding helped out. Anyway, or maybe it's the equipment I put on, that might help too. The Invisible has a DM, or Desperation move, as I talked about with Riku, second phase. And that's just a normal enemy having it. That says a lot. You can't hurt them. And, are we for? No, we're not. Anyway, I want to grab this chest over here if it lets me. But after killing off all the Heartless there, you can move around again. So this world it's not actually, well, it's invisible like this, but if you look down at the platforms that the chests are on, they do point the way to the next chest. So you're not bonking into walls. As you can also see, some of these chests are traps. Anyway, the invisibles here, they're really annoying, they do damage a lot. I actually thought they'd be tougher in Proud mode. Or at least they'd feel tougher for me. But thankfully they're not yet, although this is just the icing on the cake. We still need to get into the main layers. Anyway, so as you can see, as you can imagine, we're only fighting 1 or 2 at a time. That's nothing. So as you can see, you can actually see what the walls of this world do make up. We came from over there, we're going over that way to that chest. So it's up. But for opening that, you do get items. We do get a pretty stone, which is really nice. Opening this gives us a mega potion. Heading on to the next chest. And there are a few sections where the orbs will come down. And there's a few where they'll just come out of the chest and swallow you. Now this is a new Heartless, even though it might not look it quite yet. So even though we fought the behemoth in Hollow Bastion over in the final keyhole, this is called the Arch Behemoth, I think. I hope I'm not mixing up my behemoths. There's quite a few in the whole franchise. But the Arch Behemoth, it's not one of the 3 powerful Heartless that came from the keyhole. As you can see, that one was a lot weaker. And not just because I'm stronger too. It seriously went down easily. But for doing that, we obtain a mithril. On to the next chest. I think we get stopped by an orb halfway here. Yes, we do. And this is the other of the 2 main new Heartless of the end of the world. This is the Angel Star. And I hate these guys even more than the Invisibles. So they do really annoying attacks from a distance. And if you just leave them alone for a bit, they will launch a very powerful attack at you, which you don't want to come across under any circumstance. Anyway, it seems that orb actually brought us over to this treasure chest, and because we just had a fight here, I know this treasure chest is just an item. We get an elixir from that, nice. And this one here, orb? No, mithril shard, which means the one up here is an orb. I guarantee it. This one is an orb. Yep, there we go. So we have a few of these fights. Don't worry, this isn't the only part of the world. So, when it comes to fighting the Invisibles and Angel Stars, as you'll see quite a lot of them together, I recommend fighting the Angel Stars first, because I know they have a particular move, although I can't remember quite what it is, that's very bad for you. It could heal others, it could duplicate itself into another Angel Star. I honestly can't remember. Could almost one-shot you. But in any case, I still recommend fighting off the Angel Stars first. And this chest is floating way higher than that. So over here we go. This is quite a long section actually. No orb coming down on us though, thankfully. Opening this is an orb. Called it. Anyway, another interesting thing about the end of the world is the music. We haven't heard this music since the first couple of parts in the series. Like, seriously, this is the music from, like, the Station of Awakening, I think it's called. Basically, the dream state for Sora. And you're gonna start to see a few things that we heard about. Oh, we got a Gale. Okay, Gales are dropped by the Angel Stars and Invisibles, and just getting one from a chest is very helpful, because we'll need a few for item synthesis. And I did not think that one would be an orb either. This one's a bit tricky, because it doesn't actually have a rock pointing towards it. However, you can roughly tell where it is pointing, and using that you can work out how to get to it. Anyway, so another interesting thing about the end of the world, and actually the Heartless in general. So I'm sure you've recognized the Heartless emblem that are on many of the Heartless across, well, pretty much every Heartless, except the Shadow and the Dark Ball. I almost said Dark Side. That was like the first boss. Now the reason for that is because the Shadows and Dark Balls, and a few others, are born purely out of darkness. All the other Heartless were actually, I'm going to say, now you don't really learn about it too much in this game, but I think it goes into it a little bit in the Ansem report, and we have another Arc Behemoth here. But basically the other Heartless, or the ones with the emblems, were created by someone, partly Ansem as well, to help his research. And then they learned how the Heartless spread around, it's multiplied by feeding off the darkness in others' hearts. And so that gave born to the Emblem Heartless. And that's why you see Heartless resembling a monkey, or resembling a jellyfish, or any of the Heartless like that. And you almost died, come on. But the Heartless of pure darkness, those are seriously just born out of the darkness, straight from the bat. And we have a lot of money. Wow, that's actually very helpful for something I'm going to go over much later. Anyway, we have finally made it through this first room. Defeating the Arc Behemoth brings us to this canyon. I wonder where that Ansem fellow went. Dive into the most dangerous place and we'll find him. You mean that shiny glowing thing down there? Okay, now before I just jump down and go crazy, of course there are going to be Heartless spawning in a few places here. More important than that though, there are also going to be a few chests around. Now, don't fall, grab on, thank you. I don't want to fall down because I think I want to work my way from as low as I can be. Sorry, no, from as high as I can get. And then just slowly glide my way down, making sure I don't miss anything. That way I think I don't have to waste time climbing back up. Getting dark matters is really helpful though. And don't want to grab onto that. And I think I want to glide over this net, or this wall. We will have some Heartless appearing, of course. And we can't even get out of this place now, so we better defeat them. And I think I meant to show off all my abilities and equipment at the beginning. Oh well, I'll show that off before the final boss. I think that's a good time. So defeating all of them, this red crystal will disappear, allowing us to come down here and grab this chest. We get the Meteor Strike for Donald, so actually now's a good time. So there's my equipment for the 3 of them. Meteor Strike has 6 more strength and reduces MP by 1. Actually no, that's because the Lord Fortune raises it by 1. I am definitely putting that on. Hopefully we can get something good for Goofy while we are here also. Now I want to... darn it. So as you can see, you can't go up that section. So I'm gonna see if I can find a way back up, because I'm pretty sure there's a chest there. Actually, while I'm heading back up, there is a chest here. This one gives us dark matter, please. Oh, ultimately, useless. So I think the only way up is if we actually press against this wall and do this. I don't think we've actually done this before in like the whole game, but you can go up and press yourself against the wall to move along some small ledges. I think there's only one other room in the whole game where that's actually useful, and that's in Deep Jungle in the Waterfall Cave. Just before the keyhole, after you defeat Stealth Sneak. Anyway, now that we can finally get up this area, I thought there'd be a treasure chest there. I guess not. Anyway, so let's go down a bit further. Carefully go down a bit further. I don't want to go down too far. And there's gotta be one over here somewhere. There has to be. So let's go in this cage, as I'm gonna call it. So Angel Stars, they like to defend themselves as well. And it makes them completely impervious. But that's a Gale, that's a Gale. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any Gale I can get is helpful. And disappear! That lets us grab this one, which gives us a full life G. I think that's a cockpit type gummy. And we are here at the bottom. I don't think I missed any chests. Although I can just glide over here to quickly check if there were any over this way. Doesn't look like it. And I don't know if I want to jump down. I don't think I want to jump down because it's actually a lot harder to get up than it seems. But if we jump down here, I highly advise you to take that save point because we have a boss fight. No, we don't. Never mind. Whew. I freaked out for a moment there. So, we are here. We have a whole lot of these different... I'm going to call these towers with warps. And as you can see, there is a pillar of darkness. There is also a warp we can take forwards. If I step into the pillar of darkness... Now, this is completely optional. But stepping in here will take us to Traverse Town, where a whole heap of Heartless will appear. Now, this is required unless you seal the keyhole. Now, obviously in some worlds it's a bit hard to not seal the keyhole. In fact, it's impossible in some worlds. And so I think those worlds are Wonderland, Agrabah, Wonderland, Deep Jungle, Agrabah. I'm just trying to remember all of these off the top of my head. And Neverland and Hollow Bastion. I can't remember if doing Traverse Town is optional or not though. Either way, if you do not seal the keyhole, you have to do these fights. The teleport to the next section will be unavailable to you. If you do, however, seal the keyhole like I've done for all the worlds, then that teleport that you saw is there, and you can choose to just skip over these fights, although it's a nice way to get items and experience before the final boss. Not only that, you can also find some treasure chests. Which, whoa, that... I did not expect to get a spirit gem. So I'm assuming these are good treasure chests then. Anyway, because all of these rooms are mostly the same, just go to the next world. Also, actually no, never mind. So go to the next world, go in, fight Heartless, open a chest, go to the next one, rinse and repeat. I'm going to speed up this footage. So, interesting note. I just arrived in the Neverland section, and I can't actually fly while I'm here. That's because the game recognizes that this place is not Neverland, but it is in fact the end of the world. Now, the music is a bit of a giveaway to that, really, but it is worth noting you can't just fly around wherever you want. In terms of Heartless, they're actually... Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to see! So, Mighty Shield, attack up by 6. It's small, so the range isn't too bad, but if we look at that, so yeah, it is pretty small, but very powerful. And apparently it's just those few Heartless, if I'm right in thinking that. That was interesting. Anyway, with that, that is all the worlds, because I believe you don't fight in Hollow Bastion. Heading in here though, we have the 100 Acre Wood, with a lone treasure chest in the middle giving us a Mega Elixir, always wanted. Seriously, they are going to be your best friend later in the game. I say that, but we're in the end of the game. And now, we have this massive orange pillar here. Heading into this one, brings us to an interesting area with some invisibles. So let's take them out. Here we go, as you can hear me furiously mashing the X button, and you can see the portal out of here. That looks gruesome. Ooh, I would not want to walk in there. Anyway, we can't go past here, but we do have the emblem of the Heartless. And we do have a computer here, but first let's grab this chest. We receive an elixir, and we have more of those portals around here. But let's examine this. One's born of the heart and darkness, devoid of hearts, ravage all worlds and bring desolation. Seize all hearts and consummate the great heart. All hearts to be one, one heart to encompass all. Realize the destiny, the realm of kingdom hearts, the great darkness sealed within the great heart. Progeny of darkness, come back to the eternal darkness. For the heart of light shall unseal the path. 7 hearts, 1 keyhole, 1 key to the door. The door of darkness, tied by 2 keys. The door of darkness to seal the light. None shall pass but shadows, returning to the darkness. One's born of the heart and darkness, hunger for every heart until the dark door opens. So, that's talking about Kingdom Hearts, which seems to be the greatest of all hearts, and judging by the fact that we're in the end of all worlds, I'm going to assume that it is the heart of all worlds. Now, once we view that, the door will open again after we kill those invisibles, and we just leave. After leaving, there'll now be a pit in the ground. We have a boss fight when we jump down here, so make sure you're ready. No save point though. And this boss, it's tough first time. And it's tough every time actually. So we have a fight against Chernobog. This guy is not fun. So you can fly in this fight, thank goodness. And I recommend attacking just like you did with Ursula when she was a giant. So like I recommend getting behind his back, and I also recommend... Okay, right, you cannot summon because you can only summon when you're on the ground and you're like standing. You can't land anywhere with Chernobog. Well, actually you can. I think you can land on him somewhere or on the volcano. But he can hurt, he can deal combos, slow combos at that, so even your second chance ability won't help you. But if you just keep attacking him, he should go down pretty easily. And he only faces forward, so getting behind him is very helpful. But even though he only faces forward, majority of his attacks can hit you wherever you are. Like now. Again, having arrow up is a lifesaver. That extra defense, especially now that it's leveled up for me, always helpful. And he's already on the last boss, so this is going incredibly well. Come on, come on. Please die, come on. This is it. There we go. And only Donald gets a level up. I guess I farmed my level a bit too high. But I'm happy with that. This is proud mode. And the fact that I can defeat things alone is nice. Now, some facts about that fight that you might not know. So, that soundtrack that was playing during that fight, and we heard it a bit better in the opening, that is actually from the movie Fantasia, but right now we learned Super Glide, so I'll go over that very briefly now. It's glide, but you move faster. That's it. Okay, done. Anyway, but that soundtrack, that is actually from the movie Fantasia, the Disney movie, which had Mickey Mouse in it, I believe. And it was one of the bigger movies that got Disney success. And even though we can still fly in this volcano, we just want to go straight down, which is annoying. And then just through these rooms. And I think Chernobog is actually also like the dark creature / enemy from that movie. And heading in here, we have to jump to go in that one. This room, oh boy, this room is not fun. Starting off, we have an Arc Behemoth crush us. So we're gonna deal with him first. It'd be nice if he turned around. He will when he reaches the end of the room. And then, like, which isn't far at all. As you can see, he's already turning around, so I'll just wait for him to turn completely. Is that all you're turning? Come on, let me jump on your butt. Come on, let me jump. There we go. So, we have an Arc Behemoth, but as you can see, it seems the way forward is barred off by that emblem of the Heartless yet again. And of course I'd get hit by that. I'm fine with that though, we can always use arrow or heal when we need. You're not getting this attack off. Die! Oh no, that didn't die. There we go. So, after defeating that, so I believe we have a chance to pause. I recommend you pause right there, because we are about to face a massive onslaught of Heartless. So I'm actually going to use these AP ups I didn't recognize I had. Use a cottage to fully restore everyone's health and magic. And, wrong menu, abilities. Let's see if I can put anything on Sora. That's good. These are all actually different abilities. So I'm going to equip Ars Arcanum. I don't think I've showed this one off. Now, again, highly recommend you pause there, as a piece of this will now fall away. Now that that's starting to fall away and an opening is coming up, we have so many Heartless to deal with. A lot of Dark Balls, and we're also going to see a lot of Invisibles and Angel Stars. So yeah, and I'm going to save Ars Arcanum for later, as it does use up my magic. Now, when the Invisibles spawn, I want to make sure I cast Arrow. Here we go. So let's use it now. So, Ars Arcanum is a great ground combo that, again, if you press triangle with good timing, and that one should be dead. If you press triangle with good timing, then it should take care of them. Now, in terms of fighting these Invisibles, because they are quite tough, they are in large numbers, even though I've done a lot of off-screen grinding. A very good tactic with Invisibles is to... Oh, I think this is the attack that I think you should kill Angel Stars for. Excuse me for a moment. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. Always have a glass of water nearby. It's especially when talking so much. Anyway, so again, good strategy with the invisibles is to cast stop on them when they're all in a group about to attack you, and then cast gravity a few times, because gravity has a wide effect, so you can usually get a group of enemies in a row, and stacking gravity on enemies that you've cast stop on is extremely useful. Where's that? All the way down here. Really? Die! So using Ars Arcanum would not be a great idea. Really? Come on. Anyway, not a good idea on aerial enemies. And it tried using it on Donald even though Donald's down. Wow. Smart move there, Invisible. Smart move. Anyway, this is where it starts getting pretty bad, I think. Actually, it's just been pretty bad from after the first wave of Dark Balls. But as you can see, I'm not really having any trouble here. I think I did a little too much off-screen grinding. No, it's because the game would not give me the lucid crystals when I needed them. That is why I'm such a high level, and I'm blaming the game for that. It's not my fault at all. Anyway, let's keep going. I think we're almost done. It's only got the emblem only has one fragment remaining by the looks of it. And don't DM. Thank you. Okay. And actually, if another thing, Angel Star goes to do that attack, I'm just gonna leave it to see what it does. Because I can't remember and I'm curious. So it's this one here. Okay, so I think it's just a very powerful attack that does a lot of damage. Oh well. Anyway, almost there. Just a few more enemies. Come on. No, stop it. Thank you. And jump. So as long as you jump or you're already in the air and you fall down through that ring of flames when it's closing, you should be fine. And with... No, we're not done yet. We're not done. Oh! I thought I was holding down R1. I think I actually held down R2 by accident, though. Never mind. Bit of a waste of an Ars Arcanum. But it's only magic, so let's use it again. Okay, so this is what happens if you continually actually press the command correctly. It just keeps it going for a while. Now, Ragnarok is another ability, which I haven't shown off. I will, in time, I think, like, to show off the best method to fighting the pink Agaricus I might show off, but Ragnarok is basically Ars Arcanum but aerial, as opposed to ground combos. But with that, we have made a way forward. We have a save point, I'm not going to save yet, and we have a door. If we examine this... Huh? What's wrong? Don't you hear something? There! Careful, this is the last haven you'll find here. Beyond, there is no light to protect you. But don't be afraid, your heart is the mightiest weapon of all. Remember, you are the one who will open the door to the light. I don't hear anything. Strange, that voice was so familiar. Maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe you better take a rest. In saying that, this is the final rest, as you can see in the top there. There's a chest here I missed. Mega Elixir, nice. This is the point of no return in Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. If I open this door, I can again by examining. I can do it by examining it again. If I open that door, I enter the final boss battles. Another point I want to make just before finishing off the episode. If you're looking to grind levels or to get any Gale materials from enemies, then this room will, a lot of the time it will spawn the Angel Stars and Invisibles. In fact, I think at this point, it's the only room in the game that will do it, apart from the orbs back in the first room of this world. I think they're still going back and forth, but they're really inefficient with just fighting enemies and getting levels and materials. So if you do want to get any remaining materials, I do recommend you come in here. Not only that, there is a chance for any of the 3 mushrooms both the white mushroom, the black fungus, and the rare truffle to spawn in that room. And the white mushroom in particular, if that spawns in the room, you can use any spell on them. However, it's recommended to fight them where they usually spawn in each of the worlds with the specific spells, because they cycle through like 7 different spells here, which is insane. Like, you're going to be waiting forever. I mean, you already saw how bad it was before. But with this, I'm going to end off the episode. Next time, I'm not going to fight the final boss, as there is one other thing I want to do in the game. That is the Hades Cup in the Olympus Coliseum. The reason why is because of a secret ending after the credits. Now, I will go into more detail about that in another episode, but next time we will take on the Hades Cup, which is probably at this point harder than everything we've faced so far. So, see you guys next time. This has been Spiraling Helix. I'm signing off. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.